Maddie was first diagnosed when she was 4 years old. The pediatrician found a tumor and immediately sent us over to Seattle Children's Hospital, which is about a 4.5-hour drive. We lived in Walla Walla at the time. They did surgery the next day, and then they did it again, did another surgery, and they told us, go back to Walla Walla, everything's gonna be fine. So we did that, and after 9 months of treatment, we came back, and so did Maddie's cancer. And she had a few more surgeries here in Seattle, and I looked at him and I said, we can't do this, we have to move to Seattle. From there, Madeline had 43 weeks of chemo, and it was rigorous.
Sometimes 5 or 6 days a week.
A couple different types of chemo. Some of them made her really sick, some of them made the hair fall out, some of them just would wipe her energy out, and some of them made her muscles not work quite right.
When I first met Maddie, she blew me away. She's a tiny little girl, very petite. She was in treatment. She had been through more than what most people have been through at such a young age, and she just had this light and this spirit about her, and we just wanted to make her wish as special as it could be. We found out immediately that she loves to build all things. And so we started talking about the possibility of her going to Legoland, and she just lit up. So we knew that that would be her wish.
Had a little bit more energy than she had before, and so it was just perfect timing. It was like this big celebration.
She met a Legoland master builder, which I didn't even know existed. And so she took a whole tour of Legoland and sat down for an entire afternoon with the master builder and got to build her own Lego set.
Legoland in Florida and Walt Disney World and Universal Studios, where she got to meet and dance with the Minions. The Wish trip was amazing in so many ways, and I think one of the things that was really great was that our youngest child, Annabelle, got as much special attention on that Wish trip that Madeline did.
Every single one of us felt special on that trip, and it was really a fantastic experience.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got to know Maddie a couple years ago. Her Make-A-Wish experience was incredible for her, and I can say through firsthand experience how much she loves Legos. She has every Lego set there is, and she's been building them since she was 3 or 4. She's incredible at it. Looking back, that was a fragile time. She inspired us more than she knows, because just to see her fight on and live her life with such positivity gave us a lot of perspective.
We first met Steve Hauschka on Christmas Day, which was amazing to us to take that time out of his own life. And he shows up, and Mike's grandmother was there, and she was so over the moon excited to meet him, and it was really cute.
We should add that she's a 49ers fan.
She's a 49ers fan. And here comes Steve Hauschka. He had one of his cleats that he had signed and gave that to her.
Christmas Day, and the Kirkland Fire Department was heading over there with their truck, and we're gonna surprise her and wish her Merry Christmas.
Station 22 in Kirkland, and the firefighters there adopted Maddie, and they had seen her going to school one day with no hair and found out who she was and contacted us and asked if they could just kind of adopt her as one of their own. And they just made us feel welcome and part of the community just like that.
We could tell immediately what a kind family they were and how special a girl Maddie was for going through the whole cancer treatment process, but not just that, doing it with a smile on her face and all these uncomfortable things for a kid at that age of 4 or 5, and it's just, really is affecting her childhood.
Then hearing their story and what they'd been through and how strong they were really put some things in perspective for us.
So a week or two after Steve had come for that first visit, I got an email from him, and he had said something to the effect of, I saw Maddie and she's such a strong girl and I'd really like to spend more time with her if that would be okay with you and with your family. And so we said, of course that would be okay.
I liked that Steve could put a smile on Maddie's face, which put a smile on their face.
Her story has been really inspirational for both of us. And it just put so many things in perspective, because at the time, personally, I had maybe struggled in a game. They had these wristbands, strong like Maddie, that I wore throughout that 2014 season, even heading into the Super Bowl.
They came over one evening and
Yes.
we played Uno Dare, which was Maddie's favorite game at the time. And so, and Uno Dare is just like Uno, except when you play a dare card, you have to do the dare activity on it. Things ranging from stand in the corner and bark like a dog, to Brooke had to turn and pretend that Steve was her celebrity crush, and that she was meeting her celebrity crush for the first time. So that was a good one.
And just to see Maddie and hang out with her, and we were playing Legos together or board games, and it just really gave me a good perspective about what's important in life and how fragile life is.
They brought out the microscope and plucked one of her precious little hairs right off her head, and we have a picture of them looking at it under the microscope.
They're really cute together. They're just like kids. They play games together. When he comes over, they explore together. They have a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really nice to see that he can encourage her interest in science, and that's great to have someone come over who will say, yeah, let's look at the microscope. Oh, let's go find what else we can look at. Let's look at hair, let's look at grass, let's look at a leaf. Let's look at our spit, let's see what that's like.
He's almost become sort of like an uncle to her, that she just has this great relationship with them where she can go and tell him her ideas.
When I first met Maddie, she right away said that she wanted to meet the Seattle Seahawks. And her eyes lit up and she danced around and she started naming off all the Seahawks. And then she stopped and said, no, I think I'm gonna meet the Seattle Seahawks myself.
I brought her out to practice a couple times and introduced her to a bunch of my teammates. So she was super excited to meet Russell Wilson, and she also came out to a game.
And it was such a surprise when I found out that Maddie actually got to meet the Seattle Seahawks. And as everyone knows, they're so generous.
Now she's got friends on the team.
Now she's got friends at the team.
Oh, well, that's my buddy Steve, and he's wearing my bracelet. That was just a really special thing for her, especially when she was sick and in treatment.
He's a really nice guy and he likes to do science and Legos with me.
All the nurses, when Steve was there, they'd always ask, it's like, oh, how's Steve doing? Like, have you talked to Steve? And
When I got to go watch practice, at the end of practice, he taught me how to kick.
Then I found out that Maddie would tape a message for Steven and all of his teammates and wish him good luck at the Super Bowl. And that was actually aired on Entertainment Tonight. And so she became an instant sensation, an instant star.
Now, besides singing and Xboxes, we also took a moment out to show the players some very special messages from a few of their fans.
Hi, Martha.
6-year-old Maddie Herman is battling cancer. She's a huge Seahawks fan, and today she sent a special message to two very special players.
If you're watching the Super Bowl, go hot.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate the message. Yeah, thank you guys.
You have a message to send back to Maddie?
Maddie, it's always a pleasure. You're such a sweetheart. Thank you for everything you do, and thank you for rooting for us. I'm praying for you, strong against cancer. I know you'll come through, and I'm rooting for you, girl.
I knew that she would get through her treatment. She already had been through so much.
She's doing really well. She has regained a lot of the strength that she lost during treatment. Her hair's back. I lost some of Madeline while she was in treatment. Just her humor, it wasn't there as much. And that's all come back, and it's good to see her being the same person that she used to be, and making jokes and laughing and having fun and being a kid again.
Mike and Brooke are just two of the warmest parents you could ever imagine, and so supportive, and they've sacrificed so much in their lives to help heal their daughter.
They're still involved in that community, and they still give back in any way they can to either spread awareness or to help individual families who are going through these things.
It was hard for us to go through it, and so if we can be there to make it a little bit easier for someone else, that's why we're there.
Because people like Steve and Lindsay or the firemen at Station 22, they did that for us. So it's like we can do that for someone else. That's our way to pay it forward.
Yeah.
We just recently did the Walk for Wishes, and that was our first time doing that. It won't be the last, and that was a great fundraiser for Make-A-Wish that we all took part in.
People think that Make-A-Wish has the money that they need, and we really don't. You can make a donation at Elliott Bay Auto Brokers, and Elliott Bay Auto Brokers will actually match your donation, and that can happen right now. Well, Make-A-Wish really does provide the hope and the strength and the happiness and the joy to children battling life-threatening medical conditions. People ask me all the time, how do you do what you do? And I say, with a big smile on my face, I say we bring the joy in a moment of such darkness.